Hey gamers, welcome back to another video on my channel. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to make a transparent GFX on Blender 2.9. So you're going to need to load into Roblox Studio. And then the plugin that you'll need on Roblox Studio is called Load Character, and if you don't have it, you just need to go to the side and then click Plugins and search up Load Character. And then once you've done that, you need to scroll down to find it. There is one that is 100 Robux, but don't use that one. There is a free one. You just need to keep scrolling until you see the one that says free. I already have it, so I don't know, like, it doesn't say free for me, it just says I have it already. Okay, so once you've done that, you'll need to open the plugin, just click on the plugin, and type in the name, like the username of the avatar you're using, and press R6. It's very important that you use R6, because if you use R15, on Blender, the textures won't always work right. You can use R15, it's a little bit risky because sometimes it doesn't work. So R6 is the best to use. And I'm just using DaPandaGirl's avatar here, so this is not my avatar, obviously. I'm probably just going to make her a transparent GFX, because why not? And yeah, so the character will pop up once you press R6. And then you need to go to the box on the right, where it says the username of the avatar you just loaded in. And for some reason, this next clip, it didn't show what I was doing. But you need to right click on that blue highlighted username and press export selection, because that will give you the full body rig. And then what I'm going to do next, which did show for the most part, is I'm going to delete some parts of the body. I'm going to delete from the torso up until the left or right leg, like where I'm highlighting there. You're going to delete all that so that you can export just the head as well. Then you're going to press export selection and export just the head there too, so that you have the full body rig exported and the head rig exported. And when you press export selection, just save it to like your desktop, or if you already have a folder, just save it there. And that's it for Roblox Studio. Okay, so if you don't have Blender already installed, then just search up blender.org, I believe. I think that's what it is. Yeah, blender.org. And then just click on the first link. It should say like 2.9 or just blender.org. This shows up like download Blender 3.6 LTS. That's just because this is the newest version of Blender, but you can still download it. It'll still be Blender. Okay, so when you first open Blender, if you have a similar version of mine, it should look like this. But it's just this pop-up screen to start off like Blender. It doesn't really matter or anything like at the moment with like what we're doing. So you can just click off of it, and you should be left with this cube, and it should be highlighted. And when it's highlighted, if you press X and delete it, that's what you need to do, and you're all set to go. To move around, you use the Shift key WASD, by the way, in Blender. And then there's also the other button, which I'll put on the screen, that you can use as well. And then you're just going to press open and open your default Blender. That's what I at least have it called, but it's going to be your woman rig. If you don't have the woman rig downloaded, I'll try and put a link in the description for you to download it. If I can't find a link, there are many videos like on people's channels that have the download, so I'm so sorry if I cannot find it. But yeah, you're just going to use the keys that I told you to move around, and you're going to highlight the face, delete the eyes, like those gray dots, that's the ovals, and then you're going to delete these mouthpieces, and all you should be left with is the torso, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're just going to delete all the pieces that I've just deleted. You can slow down the video if you need just more time to figure out what pieces to delete, but it should be left with just the body, like the torso with the arms and the legs. Okay, now that you've deleted the head part, you're going to highlight the torso so that has the orange outline around it. Go up to this button, go all the way down until you see Shader Editor. Then you're going to click on that, and then it'll come up with this little web over here, and it looks like a lot, but it has a lot of rectangles full of information. But you're going to zoom into the one where my mouse is, and it should be orange, I think, and it's called Texture, and you're going to zoom in so that you're able to click on stuff that is within this rectangle. And there should be a little file folder button, and you're going to click on that, and it'll open the texture for your rig. Okay, so I now have the texture PNG on my rig, and if you had any problems with that, I can try and help you in the comments. But yeah, so now we need to import the head, and the head is the one part that you saved. It should be something .obj, so whatever the name of it you chose. So you're gonna go to File, Import, go down to Wavefront OBJ, and open it until you find something along the lines with OBJ and head rig. You should have saved it something like that. Okay, so now you are gonna look around for your head. It usually doesn't spawn right near the body, so you might have to zoom out and just look for it. And if it didn't show up, just try reloading it. But yeah, look around first, and then you're going to press the rotate button on the left while having the head clicked on, like selected. And then you're just gonna use the move arrows as well so that it gets to your head and is in the right spot. So you're just gonna keep using those arrows until you have it in the right spot on top of the torso on your rig. So it might take a little bit, but my depth perception isn't the best sometimes, so it's trial and error, but you'll eventually get it to the point that it looks like basically like a Roblox avatar. Okay, so I now have the head on to the rest of the body, and it looks basically like it did in Roblox Studio. So if yours kind of looks like that, and it looks similar to this, obviously with the avatar that you are using, then you know you're on the right track and you're doing really good, and this is what it should look like. Okay, so now we are on to the posing part of the making of the GFX. So basically, you're gonna have to figure out a pose that you want to do. So yeah, if you go down to the box down there where it says pose mode, I switched to pose mode, but it should have the option to switch from object mode, which is what it was on before, to pose mode. And so there's this oval where I've highlighted it is turned red. There is 3 on this arm, I believe, that you really can use. There's 1 on the upper arm, which I'm moving right now. There's 1 on the lower arm, like near the wrist, like the forearm. And then there's 1 on the wrist for you to rotate the wrist. And you can also use the arrows to like move the limb, I guess the arms a little bit if they aren't looking like what you want them to. But yeah, I mainly use rotate, and now I'm just going to pose the rig into whatever I feel like I want to do for this GFX. So yeah, this pose is gonna be what the GFX turns out to have, obviously. So yeah, just enjoy this little time lapse. So now you're going to go back to object mode, and so switch from pose mode back to object mode, and you should see the little button near it that says add. And so right now you're going to add some light, and I like to add the points. Like it should say light and then you go over into points. I like to add points. I don't really know the difference, to be honest. I'm still kind of a beginner with GFXs. But yeah, you're just going to use the arrows, like the move button, to position them into what you feel best works with lighting. So yeah, because if you didn't add light, then it wouldn't turn out like bright at all. It'd be very, very low light. It'd be a lot of shadows. So I add like anywhere from like 2 to 4 of these, sometimes even 5, depending how much I need. And you can always edit the avatar after, like the GFX after, on like an app like Pixlr or anything else that works like that. And yeah, I'm just enjoying me putting some more lights in for another time lapse. Okay, now you need to go up to that add button again and press camera. Okay, so once you have pressed camera, then it does have a camera that shows up, except you need to go to the right where I just pressed, and it should show up with this outline box. The button you just pressed does activate like the camera so that you can zoom out of the camera and zoom in of the camera, if that makes any sense. And yeah, this isn't going to be the final like size of your camera, by the way. This is just to start out, but yeah, you can use the AWSD to move around. You're going to go to this camera icon, and you're going to go to where it says denosing under sampling and press render NLM. Make sure that's checked. Then you're going to go down to light paths and turn the transparency down to 0. This is important that it's 0. Don't change anything else right there, just transparency. Then that's all good over there, except you want to go to film, and you're going to press transparent. Again, that will make sure that nothing becomes too transparent or anything like that's not supposed to. Then over here, you're going to make sure that the resolution is 1000 and 1000. You can change this whatever you want. I just prefer 1000 and 1000. Then you are going to position your camera to where you like it. This will actually be the dimensions for your GFX. And obviously the background will be transparent, but now you need to go down to where it says output, change it to a PNG, and make sure it's RGBA, and then you're good there. And now here, and then here you're going to press ambient occlusion, and then now it's ready to render, so you're just going to go up to where it says render and click render. And now once it's finished rendering, just go to where it says image and press save as, and then you're finished. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully it was easy to follow. If you want more tutorials or have any video ideas, comment down below.